Okay, we're here in the shop this morning and we're gonna make a little Christmas item, a little holiday item actually. Little reindeer, miniature one. Found this pattern on the internet and redesigned it a little bit to make it workable on a scroll saw. And I added these two eyes at sort of a diagonal, give him a little bit of personality, the way he's looking, as if he's a little puzzled about something that he's looking at. Now, this is not too difficult to cut. If you want to try this, I've got the pattern down below, and you can download this for free and give it a try yourself. I'm going to take you through the steps for making this thing. Really very simple. I'm going to use an old piece of plywood I have here, not plywood, an old piece of a 2x4 that I have here. This is a good project for using up some of your scrap, I suppose. And what I'm going to do is cut it to about 5 inches, which is more than what we actually need. Sand this down using this belt sander and smooth it out a little bit. And we're going to cut this little guy out of this. So let's go over to the chop saw and cut about 5 inches off of this. And we'll take that bad end off probably and make this thing fit in here pretty good. Okay, we're over here at the chop saw, as I said, and we're going to take off this bad end first. Don't really need that. I'll discard it. And we'll measure it off about 5 inches. Just take us about here. Okay. And we'll put that under there. And alright, here we have our blank. Nice little blank to use to make our little reindeer. Let's take this over to the belt sander, finish it up. Okay, with the belt sander now. And let's just take this trashy edges off here and clean it up a bit. Okay, we got that all nicely sanded down. Don't have to worry about the edges because we're not going to even have those as part of the reindeer. Well, let's take this over and get our pattern set up. Okay, we got our little block here all set to go. I'm going to take some painter's tape. Don't need a lot, just enough to cover the surface area. This will prevent any burning of the wood and make it a little easier to cut the piece out too. Plus we also have a place to put our pattern for easy removal. Okay, take our pattern, cut it down a little more. Like so. Here, I'm going to take this over and put a little stickum on the back. I use the Staples glue stick. I go through dozens of those, and I'll stick the back up real nice. Okay, I got the back of this nice and gooey now. Put this little guy down here, flatten him out. Here. I use the glue stick, by the way, to put down most of my patterns. I did use aerosol spray for quite a few years, but I got the feeling that maybe that's not too good for your lungs, so I started using this now, and I think it's much better. Let's take this over to the drill press now and drill out the two eyes, and we'll make an entry hole for the blade also. Let's just drill these two eyes out. Pretty good. You can use just about any size drill for the eyes, whatever suits your fancy. Now let's drill an entry hole. Okay. Now let's take this over to a scroll saw and we can start our cutting. It's a fairly simple cut, even if you're brand new to scroll saw work. If you take your time, you should be able to cut this out with any great difficulty. I'm going to use a number 7 blade, reverse tooth blade. You could do this with a number 5 also, but I have a 7 in here, so I think we'll go with it and see what we turn out. Just take your time, cut slowly, and it should come out pretty good in the end. Okay, finished our cut. Fairly easy. It's always kind of exciting to see what you get when you finish up and take this thing out, especially if you've never seen it before. Okay, pops right out of there. Blade does anyways. Let's hope the deer does. There he goes. Drops right out of the bottom and looks pretty good. Let's take him over to the bench, take a look at him. Got our little deer all set here now. Just peel off the label. Comes off fairly easy. And we have our little reindeer ready for decoration. What I think I'm going to do is sand him down a little bit and then maybe stain him a brown color, which is what a reindeer probably should be. Maybe we'll put a little red dot on the end of his nose to make him look somewhat familiar. You got to watch out when you're using old scrap wood. This, for example, has a real dark stain piece on the ears, and there was a drill hole I hadn't noticed before up near the top. Actually, maybe it's not. Yeah, it is a little hole, not too bad, but you want to check that out before you start your cutting. So let's go do some sanding and staining here now. Okay, we're over here at the mop sander. A little worn down, but still has some life in it. I'm going to take this guy and run him over here and smooth him out. When you're doing something like this on the sander, by the way, fragile areas like this, you want to hold those ears tightly down when the brush hits it, because I've had many times it just rips it right off. And we're pressing this into the into the wood really good because we want to round over some of these edges here. Okay, looks pretty good. We have our little reindeer here. I don't know, I don't think I had the video working here, so I better explain this. I tried to stand them up before and kept toppling over forward. So what I did was I took off about 1/16 of an inch off the bottom of his back foot. okay? And that gets them to lean back a little bit and makes them stand up a little better. So you might want to do that if you're having a problem with that. You can keep that in mind for when you start your actual cut and make that adjustment. Got a little bit of stain. I'm going to pour some of it in this container here. And then using a paper towel, we're going to put some stain on these little guys. See how they look. Doesn't look too bad. Alright, we're going to leave those out here now, let them dry for a couple of hours. And we'll put a little red dot on their nose, see if we can't find a ribbon maybe go around them. And we'll have a nice little decoration here. Okay, I finished the little reindeer project here that I stained, put a little red nose on it. Also made one that I call the candy cane deer instead of the candy reindeer. Got little candy cane stripes on them, and I use some of those little plastic googly eyes too. You can even put those on and make him dressed up a little more than he was before. And here's a couple that I did out of some nice maple wood. Those came out rather nice too. So there's a lot of different things you can do with this. Play around with the project and see what you can come up with. And I hope you enjoyed doing this. And if you did, click the like button down below, and maybe you want to subscribe to the channel too. You might find something interesting here with other ideas that I come up with later on down the road. Well, thank you very much for watching.